was a very large person laying underneath my bed with a pile of blankets. Said, "Don't scream, but there's a man in the yard." She walked over to look outside and gasped. She grabbed me and kind of hid behind me and said, "Go say something."
That's
No,
crazy.
Don't.
Whose man's is this? Why are you in our backyard? What is good, you guys? My name is ReboundLeader. Welcome back with another video. 3 disturbing true horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Another one. I don't know what his posting schedule is like, but it looks like he does it every Monday. This will be the last video I'll be posting until I go back to work, and I'll be working for 2 weeks until like August 5th or August 3rd. You guys won't see me for 2 weeks, but for now, we're gonna enjoy this video, man. Hope you guys have your water, got your Bible, you got your cross ready with you, on the full armor of God, because this is about to get clucked up. Like, look at the thumbnail already.
When I was around 12, I had the one bedroom in the house that wasn't on the second floor. My parents' house was a high ranch, so when you entered the house, it split off to 2 floors. One half flight of stairs going upstairs and one downstairs.
All right.
The downstairs level had the den, the garage, my bedroom, and a bathroom. The other 3 bedrooms in the house were all upstairs. Since I grew up the oldest and the only boy in the house with 2 sisters, I got the room downstairs because it was the biggest.
Bro, I can't lie to you. The room, if you have a room and it's downstairs and not upstairs, you're more likely to get clucked. You're more likely to get bodied.
Coolest room. After I turned 10, my parents gave my twin bed to my little sister, and I got a full-size bed, which was a bit of an upgrade because the room was big and could certainly fit a bigger bed.
Nice.
When I was 12, my little sisters
Not
were
worth
around 5 and 8, so at this age I would be allowed home alone, but my 5-year-old sister wouldn't be left alone with me. My 8-year-old sister would only be left alone with me if my parents weren't going to be gone for too long.
All right.
If they'd be gone for longer periods of the day, then one of my parents would take both of my sisters. For this short period of time, I'd say like 3 nights in a row, maybe a little more, I was waking up in the middle of the night for no reason.
That's weird.
I'd have trouble falling back asleep.
That's weird.
Considering I was 12 years old, I knew I should.
Bro, that's how you know someone's watching. Someone's in your vicinity, bro. That stuff like that does not just happen.
I've been having sleeping problems at that age.
You know something fun to happen.
I was sleeping with the fan on next to my bed because it was a hot couple of days in the middle of the summer. So I wasn't sure what exactly was waking me up, considering the fan provided a steady white noise.
Interesting.
One of these nights, I got up after waking up to refill my glass of water. I went to the bathroom right outside my bedroom, and as I was filling it up, I thought I heard something come from inside my room.
What?
I turned off the faucet and then listened, but now there was nothing, just the sound of the fan. I walked to the doorway in my bedroom. I couldn't tell what it was, but something was creeping me out about my room now.
Yeah,
I went upstairs to the living room and decided to sleep on the couch that night. I fell asleep eventually, but that same night, again, I woke up, this time to noises from the kitchen. I saw the glow of the light from the fridge and the sounds of someone rummaging through it.
What?
The way that floor was set up had the kitchen out of view from the couch in the living room.
Oh,
I couldn't see who was there.
Who is this person?
I heard the fridge door eventually shut, then footsteps walk away and downstairs.
That's crazy.
I was drowsy, and so I went back to sleep. I believe it was the next day that my mom was folding clothes in my room, and she told me my room stunk, and I needed to clean up whatever that smell was. I ignored her because I really didn't smell anything. I wish I didn't ignore her, though. That night...
This is why you listen to your parents, bro. When they told you to clean up the garbage in your room, you do it immediately. Don't be trying to wipe it off like it's nothing.
Put the air conditioning on because it was simply too hot. After we all watched a movie as a family,
listen to your parents.
Everyone started getting ready for bed. I went to my room and played video games for a little while before getting sleepy. By that time, I turned off the TV and console and rolled on my side to go to sleep like I always did.
All right.
Tonight I didn't have the fan on because the air conditioning was on, so there was just the sound of the air blowing out from the vents in the ceiling. I fell asleep. But once again, I woke up not long after. I didn't know what the sound I heard was. All I heard was the vent fan blowing air. Then, when it stopped blowing air, the room was silent, and I heard something.
What?
Breathing.
What?
It wasn't my breathing, though.
Oh, heck no. Someone's right beside you. Whoa.
I looked around the room. The closet door was shut, so there was no way it was coming from there.
That's crazy. Under the
my
bed.
Childlike innocence assumed it was my younger sister playing
Under
a prank.
the bed.
I got on the floor and looked the one place I could think to look. Under the bed.
Yep.
I lifted the little piece of cloth that dangles at the bottom
Oh
of the
my
bed,
gosh.
and there was a very large person laying underneath my bed in a
Woo!
pile of blankets. Their head was facing me, but their eyes were closed.
What?
I fell backwards and basically crab walked out of the room screaming, "Dad."
Whoa.
I heard my parents' door swing open and my parents yelling in concern.
Whoa.
I pointed into my room and said, "Under the bed." And my dad went and pulled out this very large, dirty-looking man.
Oh my gosh.
I remember my dad quite easily physically forcing the man outside as my mom called 911. I'm sure he went to jail for a while. Or maybe not, because he was homeless. Who knows?
Oh, he was homeless, of course.
This did a lot of mental damage to me where I didn't even want to sleep in my own room anymore, or let alone in that house. I had to sleep in the middle of my parents for a while. Then my dad installed security cameras all over the house. We threw out everything that was opened in the fridge because we had no idea what he put his mouth on in there. The fear of someone being under my bed stayed with me for a long time, years to come. We don't even know how long he was hiding under my bed.
How did
It could have been a few days.
How did he even get in? How did he even get into your room? Did your parents not lock the doors, window vents, and lock the locks? Like, what are we doing here, man? What did your parents not do to make this man enter your place undetected? Such a long period of time of you not noticing because of your innocence, and your parents didn't even notice anything? Come on, bro.
Well, the person going through the fridge, the randomly waking up every night for a few days, whether he meant harm or not. Having someone hiding under your bed is every child's biggest nightmare.
Yeah.
This story is from my great-grandfather, who is currently at the ripe old age of 101. He's told this story at family gatherings for years.
101? Oh my
He's
goodness.
from the city of Yaroslavl in Russia. I guess it was the Soviet Union when he was born there. Being from the USSR, of course he served under the Soviet Union during World War II.
That's crazy.
And fleeing to the United States a few years after to escape communism. He told me this story again recently. It happened not long after the Battle of Veliki Luki, which wasn't a major battle of the war, but it still ended up in a large amount of Soviet and German bloodshed, as most battles at the time did. It was the evening, and according to my great-grandfather, it was very cold that night, like hellish cold. They were in a small house/building that was one of the few with no damage to it, which made it nice because it was warm. Him and his comrades were celebrating with drinks, songs, laughing, and joking, what you could imagine a celebration would look like. At some point in the evening, two fellow soldiers walked into the building.
Hope they don't get
My
drunk.
great-grandfather and his friend Sergei didn't care for these two. It was apparently because they were loudmouths and were just unpleasant guys.
Okay.
Sergei asked my great-grandfather if he wanted to go out and have a smoke.
No.
He agreed.
No.
The two put on their heavy coats and walked out into the freezing cold air.
You actually said that it was hellish cold. Why would I even want to go out? Y'all have these crazy addictions, man. Get rid of it,
My great-grandfather
please.
pulled out a cigarette,
It's not
as
worth-
did Sergei.
It's not worth your
He lit
lungs.
both of their cigarettes. They were talking for a while, both enjoying their cigarette and basking in the glory that came along with winning the battle that had been going on for about 2 months.
Yeah, the battle ain't won yet,
After my
buddy.
great-grandfather finished his cigarette, they were both about to go back inside when they heard what sounded like a man scream from the woods in the distance.
Whoa!
Fearing that
Oh,
it was the
heck
scream
no.
from one of their comrades,
I'm running back inside.
possibly being attacked by a patrol of pissed-off Germans, they went back inside quickly and grabbed their guns.
Yep.
Because of the fact that there might be armed Germans, they got a bunch more of their fellow soldiers to run into the woods with them.
Why?
My great-grandpa mentioned that as he got deeper into the woods, he started to get a weird feeling, like dread and fear. When they couldn't hear screaming anymore, my great-grandpa suggested that they all split into duos and search for whoever it was.
No, I'm not
Sergei
doing
went
that.
with him, while the others went off in their own duos.
I'm not doing that.
After about 2 minutes of walking through the dark, cold woodlands, my great-grandpa said that he could hear faint crying, like someone was in pain. Sergei heard this too.
What
So
the
they walked
heck?
to where they heard the crying sounds. They started seeing drops of blood in the snow.
Yo.
So they both began to...
Yo, this is a trap. Please, get your behinds back inside the place that is nice and warm. Don't even take shots, just go to bed.
the situation as more of a threat than they were earlier. It still gives me chills when my great-grandpa tells me this part. When him and Sergei got to the source of the crying sound, they had found the most bizarre and disturbing scene they had witnessed.
What?
2 German soldiers on the ground, one of them dead, one alive.
Okay.
One of them had their uniforms ripped and bloodied. The alive one was cowering by a tree, muttering stuff in German. He didn't notice my great-grandpa and Sergei right away.
That's weird.
My great-grandpa then walked towards the other body. The corpse was horrifically mutilated, missing limbs.
What the
skin
heck?
ripped off the face. His uniform was shredded.
Is there a
It looked like
monster
he'd
in the
been
woods?
scalped. Another thing that stood out to my great-grandpa was the smell. He couldn't describe the smell, saying it wasn't like a dead body, but more like chemicals.
Okay.
The corpse looked fresh. Sergei investigated the living soldier, who then, noticing Sergei, jumped back in terror, as if he had been traumatized. He was shouting stuff in German. It was only then that my great-grandpa noticed that his leg had been torn apart, and his chest was bloody.
Oh my
He said
gosh.
he could remember that German screaming something like Das Kolas or something similar. Sergei pulled out his pistol and put the German out of his misery with a single shot to the head.
Woo!
Almost immediately after this, my great-grandpa described hearing moaning-like noises. And that's when a very tall thing started running in the darkness away from them. Afraid, Sergei and great-grandpa started shooting erratically in the direction of the thing.
What the heck?
The other men ran over, but the thing was gone. All of the men were reprimanded when they got back to the village, but a report was sent to the high command. It was never investigated further. My great-grandpa claims that it was the most terrifying experience of his life. It makes him stressed when thinking back on the sight of that mangled German and that thing.
That's crazy.
This happened when my fiancée Morgan and I just moved into our house together in a quiet little town. We still live in this house. It's a modest, cute little house perfect for us and a couple of kids if and when we decide to have. We met one of the neighbors right off the bat. They seemed nice. They were an older couple in their late 60s. The neighbors on the other side were pretty far away, so we didn't meet them for a while. We were still in the unpacking and furnishing phase. It might have been week 2 of living in the house. We were exhausted by every night, having to work our jobs and then also setting up the house and unloading. Morgan was cooking pasta in the kitchen. I was sitting at the table talking to her while on my laptop shopping for area rugs. It was a little stuffy in the house, so I was going to go slide open the back door, but as I got to it, I looked into the backyard and noticed someone sitting in one of the chairs.
Okay.
He was kind of hunched over with his head down. When I say I almost shit myself when I saw it, I'm not kidding.
What?
I whispered Morgan's name and said, "Don't scream, but there's a man in the yard." She walked over to look outside and gasped. She grabbed me and kind of hid behind me and said, "Go say something."
That's
"No, wait,
crazy.
don't."
Whose man's is this? Why are you in our backyard? I would have yelled. I would have been like, hey, why are you in our backyard? This is our property. Who are you? And then bring the Bible out and say, if you do not leave, I might have to rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Like, that's the only way. That's the only way to get this man out of here. I'm not even joking around. I will probably have to pray for this man because he probably wants to do harm to us. So I have to pray that God protects us and allows this man to change his mind and not hurt us, because that's weird. It's weird behavior.
I myself didn't know if I should go out there or not. I'm not the biggest man, to be honest. And even though this guy had his back to us and was sitting down...
Man said, I'm not the biggest man, to be honest. So you're basically saying you're not masculine. You're a sissy boy. Okay.
He looked like he was bigger than me.
Who cares?
Morgan suggested I knock on the glass and yell at him to leave.
Grab the
I
strap.
didn't want to do it though, I was scared. The backyard is huge, but right outside the backyard door is a patio with the leftover furniture. The lights in the yard weren't on. We just saw him through the interior lights shining through the glass door.
That is
Which
weird.
meant he had to know we were in here.
Man, it's
I
dark.
said,
It's
"Fuck
dark
it,"
as well.
knocked on the glass and yelled, "Hey, you need to get off our property." The man turned around and looked at me. He then got up with this half smile, almost like he was laughing. He looked 50. He had a really long gray beard and tattoos down to his wrists.
Oh.
He walked up to the glass. I made sure the door was locked.
Oh.
He stood on the other side of the glass door and shifted his gaze to Morgan. He started licking his lips and saying vile shit. I yelled, "All right, I'm calling the police."
Are you? Whose man's is this? Did you just look over to my wife and start saying and licking your lips saying nonsense? Are you mad? Whose man's is this, bro? Oh my goodness, you would have to fight right there and then. I don't care if you're bigger than me. You're 50 years old. I got a shotgun right over here. Like,
I closed the sliding blind to get him out of our faces.
what?
I called 911
That's
and told
crazy.
the operator to please hurry and send police to our house. I could still hear the man on the other side of the door, now speaking at a very high volume, almost yelling, still saying disgusting things about Morgan.
Wow.
I put the phone to the glass so the operator could hear it. He made me stay on the phone until police would show up.
What's with this dude?
Eventually it went quiet outside. and so I took a peek out the glass and the guy was gone.
Of course.
Still, I couldn't wait for police to arrive. And when they did, they searched the backyard, took a police report, and left. We thought it was over.
Nope.
Later on that night, when we were in the living room watching TV,
why would it be over?
We both agreed we heard something from outside in the yard.
Call the police.
I went over to the window and kinked the blind, just enough to see that man outside again. He had a cigarette in his hand.
Wow.
He was talking to himself, or trying to talk to us.
He's crazy.
Facing the house.
Mentally ill.
I noticed the kink in the blinds, because he ran over to the window. I jumped back, and he started pounding on the window, saying all these awful, sick things he wanted to do to Morgan.
What?
I told her to go up.
Bro, is this man, like, thirsty, like, for my wife? I know, like, I understand she's that good looking, but, like, what the heck is your problem? You gotta be mentally ill, gotta be mentally deranged for you to be literally just saying the most nastiest things to my wife, bro. Don't worry, you'll get that type of love when you're in jail. As soon as you get to jail, you will get the love that you deserve.
Stairs. I didn't want her to hear this anymore. I yelled, "I'm gonna call the police again." And then the pounding stopped and he went silent.
Of course he did.
I waited a few seconds before kinking the blind again, and he was gone. I went upstairs to go comfort Morgan, who was visibly shaken. I told her he was gone, when in hindsight I should have called the cops again.
You should have.
Downstairs, I heard bumping and knocking.
Oh my goodness.
I went halfway down the stairs and heard bumps on the back door and the doorknob twisting and turning.
Bro, call the police.
The house. I grabbed the phone in the kitchen and called 911 again.
Where's your weapon? Bro, what type of man are you? I understand you said you're not a man's man, but like, bro, I know you're not masculine, but come on, you have no weapon?
Begging the operator to send police now. This time, the police arrived a lot quicker, and I didn't alert the man outside that they were coming.
Good.
But unfortunately, by the time they showed up, that man disappeared again.
Oh my gosh.
It's very likely he just ran off into the trees deep in the backyard.
It's ridiculous.
He didn't come back again that night. The next day, we went around knocking on neighbors' doors, both introducing ourselves to those we hadn't met yet and asking them if they knew anyone matching the description of that man. What we found out was disturbing.
What?
A couple a few doors down from us knew that man. He was known for beating his ex-wife and having a drinking and drug problem. Generally just regarded as very dangerous. He lived around the block from us in a small, rundown house.
That's crazy.
The scariest part. We reported him to the police, but since we didn't have him on video, we couldn't press charges.
What?
We don't know if he still lives there because we haven't heard from or seen him in a long time. I hope it stays that way.
I hope he did. No, I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I was about to say I hope he got bodied, but no. You gotta pray for him out of love. You know, so I pray that any type of mental illness this man is going through, God may comfort him. You know, say that he may be comforted by God. You feel me? Because he needs the help. You know what I'm saying? God help him. Because that's crazy. You're telling me that the neighbors knew about this dude and they still have not done anything about it? The police came through. They never even did a search. They just took a report and that's it. These American police officers are such a joke, bro. It's unbelievable. Anywho, no, I'm just saying, like, it's not like the police could really do it much, honestly, but kind of sucks. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I'll catch you guys in like 2 weeks, hopefully. And yeah, God bless. Take care. Peace.
You win. Perfect.